Well, what I got here is a couple of motherboards that I've already gone over in a couple of past videos. We have the MSI Meg Ace right here. This is an eATX motherboard, and it also supports 5 M.2s. Now, you need to check out the review on this because I paid only $200 for this, and this was originally a $600 motherboard only a matter of a year and a half ago. This one over here is an MSI Meg Unified, and this is not an extended motherboard, but it also has 5 M.2s, and I paid, I think, $250 for this when it was originally a $500 motherboard, or just shy of $500. So got this for less than half, this for just about half of the cost of what they were brand new. This one does not support any display out, so if you had a CPU with integrated graphics, you're not going to get anything just from the motherboard alone. You have to have a dedicated graphics. Now this, on the other hand, you can either have a graphics card and use that. You can have the graphics card come back into the motherboard with DisplayPort, and then your output would be Thunderbolt. Or you can use the included Type-C DisplayPort that's on here, or the included Type-C port that you can use to go to a monitor, or you can get a adapter going from Type-C to HDMI or DisplayPort. So that one can support integrated graphics. We're going to test that out, but I need to get going on this, so don't go anywhere, just stay right there. All right, so the only thing that I have right here right now is a Core i5-13500. Now I know that's underkill for a board like this, but that's all I have right now. So we're just testing the boards. I'm not looking for any kind of performance or anything like that, but let me get this turned for you. There we can see all our pins look beautiful in here. Nothing is out of line, but we're gonna look for our little triangle here, and the triangle on the board is down here in this corner. So what we're gonna do is just go ahead and set it in here like so. And then afterwards, we can take this guy out. We don't care about that. Get that, set that down, and presto, CPU installed. Now I do have the fan, the included fan that came with it. So we're just going to use that. It already has pre-applied thermal compound. That's all I really care about right now. And we can see here is our fan cable. And we'll get that, make sure it's coming out more of the back. And we're just going to... Now, the way that these go in is these are a press in, and then you got to twist them out. So, get them in like that. Then we're just going to hook up our fan to CPU fan that is right over here. Now I have some Team Group or T-Force, that's what it's called. It's some Vulcan DDR5. These are 16 gigabyte sticks each, we can see right here. And this is all I care about. We can see on the board the first two that we got to put them in. It's usually always these two that are right here on the, let me get you a little bit better shot there, but it's usually the second one away from the CPU and the last one out here. All right, well, as I said, here is a Type-C, and this goes to HDMI. So we're gonna plug in our actual cable that goes to the monitor. So this end is going to the monitor back here. We're going to plug that in. Now this end's going to the motherboard. We got no graphics card. We're just going Type-C. So we got our power supply connected to the motherboard. We have our CPU power, and I think that's all we need. We don't need anything else hooked up. The fan's already included here. We don't need a graphics card right now. But what we're going to do is turn I just want to make sure that this, starts up. We're going to turn this power supply on, and then we're going to actually get a jumper for that. All right, so we have our power supply turned on. I've got my little remote button here that's turned on, and we should. This is on standby. Okay, I don't know why. It helps when you have the power supply plugged in. All right, we should be good now. Let's turn the power supply on. There we go. I don't know why I had to click it twice. But we have this. We have our diagnostic LED going right now. So our fan's going. We're just waiting to see what it's going to do here on the monitor. And there we go. Now it shut off and it's starting again because it looked like it said the memory has changed. So now I think it's just trying to train the memory. And look at that. So right now I'm trying to look. It looks like BIOS version 170. So what we're going to do, and see, that is a 9/14 of 22. So we can see, it's 2 years later, and now I have this motherboard. So we can pretty much guarantee that it was brand new and never opened, even though I know it wasn't. Now, I did go ahead and look up. The reason why I can recognize this CPU is because there is a later BIOS on it. It's 1 or 2 BIOSes past when the release for the 13th gen CPUs came out. So that's the reason why we can even get into the BIOS. What we're gonna do is update it to the latest right now. So I'm gonna take you over here and I'm gonna show you and walk you through step by step on how to update this, because there's quite a few new versions that we need to get to. All right, you're just gonna open up a browser of your choice and go ahead in the search bar and start typing in your motherboard make and model. So MSI, this is the Meg Z690. And this is the ACE, so we'll just call it the ACE. And we can see our very first option is from MSI.com, and that's going to be probably what we need. Now, you'll notice that there's a support button up on top. That is not the one you want. That is for the site. That's just a generic support for the actual website. What you want is the one down here for the actual motherboard that we're on. So you can see up here, you got specifications, gallery, and support. Go ahead and click on support. And this applies to most all modern MSI and even Asus and ASRock and all those motherboards, Gigabyte. And what we're gonna do is we can see that we're on BIOS right here. It's selected for us. We can see that the version right here, this is the latest of 1/19/2024, so it only came out a matter of a week or two ago, which is pretty cool. So we are going to have our latest. Now it does have the ME firmware version that we can download and update. It also has the ME firmware update SOP, which is standard operating procedures. It basically just tells you how to do it, and it's very simple. You just download it and extract the files, and then just hit the executable file, and that'll update your ME, which is the management engine. Now, if we scroll down a little further, we can find our BIOS in here, hopefully, and it looks like this is it. So we got 7D27 version 17, and you can see it says 170 right there, but 7 or 17 and then the 0 are the same thing. So we can clearly see that that is it, and you can see if we go back to, right there, go back one BIOS version, and we can see it says ready for next gen CPU, so that would be the 13th gen. But we're gonna go back up to the top here. We're gonna go over here to the download button, and we're just gonna download it. And you can see it created a zip folder. This is in Google, by the way, for your search engine. And we can just minimize this for right now, and then we will open up our File Explorer, and then we're going to click on Downloads, and then I'm going to get rid of this stuff so it's a little less, a little less confusing for us. I hit the wrong key. And here it is. Now this has a little folder next to it, but it's got a little zipper in it, and you can see it says zipped. So what you need to do is right click on it, and go down to extract all. And we're going to put it right back in the same folder, right into the downloads folder. And it opened up a new window for us. That's normal, but now it's not a zipped folder anymore. We can go ahead and double click on that. And now we have two files. One is a very large file. That is the file that you need. You don't need the other one. That's just notes. It's document text just talking about it. So what we want to do is do this. We can do Control-C on the keyboard or right-click and copy. And then we're going to go down. Oh, I got to put the thumb drive in. So we have a thumb drive here I dedicate to BIOS, updating BIOSes. And we're going to just select any port available. And we're going to go ahead and that opened up automatically. So let's just say it wasn't open up automatically. You already had it put in. Just scroll down till you see the drive that you want. Hit Control-V on your keyboard or right-click and paste. And now we have our file on our thumb drive here. I can go ahead and extract this. And this file now is ready to go into here. So now you're going to take your thumb drive that you just put that file on, and generally speaking, you can grab any USB port, but I have seen a couple of cases where it does matter. So just try one out, and if it doesn't work, try a different one if you can't see the file. So this is the only file that we have on this motherboard, or on this thumb drive. So that's how you want to do it, is just have a single one. So we are going to grab the mouse here, and I'm going to have to look at this screen so I can see this screen, but nevertheless, we're going to click on M-Flash, and yes, it needs to reboot. So it's going to reboot. This is just kind of something that MSI does. Then we're going to get back into where we're going to actually read the file and install the new BIOS. All right, so now it just booted up there, and now we can clearly see we only have two options. We have the Samsung, or we have the PNY USB flash drive that I have. And we can see that the file right down there, this is the new file that we want to read. We click on that to highlight it. Are you sure you want to select this file? And yes, we do. So now the BIOS is updating. See how simple that was? Very simple. Now at this point, what you want to do is just walk away. You can watch it, but don't kill the power right now. Even though this has a backup BIOS, don't chance it. Just walk away, or take your hands away and just let it sit. Let it do its thing. All right, looks like we're approaching the end here pretty quick. We're at 97, 98% right now. So this is where you'll see the computer reboot itself. Possibly many times. So just be patient, let it do its thing. Still don't touch it at this time. This is just our first reboot, by the way, and I'll let you know how many times it's going to reboot. I probably won't keep this all real. Okay, that's our second time it just shut off, and it's going to power back up, which it just did. Right now, it's training the memory and anything else that it has to implement for the BIOS to take effect. That is the second time that it shut off. So we're starting back up again. Or that's the third time. Did I already say second? So that would have been the third. Just be patient still. I'm stuck on what appears to be code B6. I don't know what that code is right off the top of my head, but I have had a case in the past with MSI where it would go through all this and it would be stuck and I'd have to actually reboot it myself. But we're going to let this sit for a little bit. I'm going to look up what that code means, and then we'll come back to it and address it accordingly while it's on camera. It's actually D6 and not B6, so my apologies for that, but it means no console output found. So I don't know what's going on, but apparently either it's not recognizing this out as an output here or what. We're going to try unplugging it and plugging it back in. I'm going to remove the BIOS also right now because we're stuck, right? So I'm just going to, we're going to remove the BIOS thumb drive. Then we're going to remove the output right here. We're going to plug it back in. I doubt we're going to get a display. And now we're going to use the reset button right on here. because it's been long enough. It's been almost 10 minutes. It's been sitting like this, so nothing else is happening. So we're gonna do a reset, and we're gonna see what happens. Hey, look at that. This is select the CPU type. We kind of have a box cooler right now, so we'll just select that. Are you now choosing box cooler? Or you are now choosing box cooler, plus yes to confirm. Press no to exit, press to cancel or go back. So we're just gonna confirm that right now because we are running a box cooler. So anyway, we have our new version here. If you can see right here, it is 1/16 of 2024, and our BIOS version has changed. So everything's confirmed there, so that's great. And what we're gonna do is usually we can hit F10, but I'm not as familiar with ASUS BIOSes, so I'm just looking for, kind of wanted to load the optimized defaults, but I don't quite know how to do that on here. Okay, so it's under settings, and we have our save and exit, and then we have save options, discard, restore defaults. We can restore defaults. I guess that's, yeah, load optimized defaults. That's what we wanted. And since that's done, now we can actually save changes and reboot. But actually, we do not have to save the changes. We're just going to save the changes. Okay, and that's it. So we could put a graphics card in, but I'm not going to. Down the line, if I experience a problem, I will just do an RMA on the motherboard. But I have no reason to believe that this won't work. I do have to get Windows installed, but this is at a later time. I'm not going to do Windows right now. We're going to check out the other motherboard and get that one prepped with the same package and get the BIOS update on that one, make sure that one works. All right, so we got our other motherboard prepped here. Now, this one, all I did was take the CPU and the cooler and put it over here. I didn't even bother putting a new thermal paste on it. I just didn't need to. But this one does require a graphics card for an output, so that's the only way. And we are rocking my original and my very first graphics card ever for me, and this is an EVGA 1060, yeah. So this is very basic. Oh, I do have to get power for the graphics card. All right, now that we're all set, now I have power going to the graphics card. Now I should be all good. And we got our cable hooked up to our monitor, so let's go ahead and turn on the power supply. Our RAM's in, CPU's in, that's in. Let's push our power button here. And let's make sure that, good sign so far. Our fan's spinning, our debug LED or our codes are going off right now. So now it's just trying to recognize a few things between the RAM and the graphics card. And hopefully we'll get something here on the screen momentarily. It can take up to a minute and a half to actually recognize some stuff. All right, the motherboard powered down, and now it's kicking back on again. Training the RAM, of course. And we just want to make sure these great deals. All right, so there's our first sign. And we can push F1 for setup. Okay, it's just gonna do it on its own apparently. There we go. And we could just go with box cooler for right now. The latest BIOS on this, look at this. So this might have been a late release, but this was just last year. This is only like 6 months ago. So that's questionable. Why? I don't know. I guess they're just leftovers, but maybe coming off the shelf late because it did not look like it was open at all. But anyway, we're going to see if there's a new BIOS update. We got version, that's 7D28, and that's 7/12 of 23. So 7D28. So let's go over and see what we can find for the BIOS. All right, once again in our Google search, we're going to type in MSI, whoops, learn how to spell, MSI Meg Z690, but this is the Unified. So we can see right down here, it says Unify. And I have no idea why it popped up over there. That is strange. Let's try this again. Why is that doing that? That's not what I wanted. Let's just try typing it in up here. Well, here it is right here. For some reason, I don't know why it's doing that. So anyway, let's, right here, Unify, let's go to this one. And again, your support page for the actual motherboard is the second one down. And we're going to scroll down here. We can see, oh, so 72.8, but this is version 1G. So all the versions are the same. I forget, I don't know what we had on here. What does it say? All right, so it says 1D0. So what is version 1D0? Where is that located? If it even exists. All right, so I do not see 1D0 right off the bat. It's up a little higher here. Yeah, there's 1A, 1B. Okay, my bad. And 1F. So it jumps. It goes A, B, C, and it should be D in between. So there may have been a problem with this actual BIOS, and it should be in between those two right there. So A, B, C, D, E, and then F. So yeah. Well, anyway, we are going to grab the latest right here. That is the latest. Yep. So we're going to grab the latest. We're going to go ahead and download that. We're going to go to our downloads page. This is a zip folder. Again, extract all. We're going to come right back to the same folder. And now I'm going to put in this thumb drive into this computer. We're going to delete that full file from the previous motherboard. I'm just going to exit out of that. Now we got to open up this folder here, and we again want the largest file only. Control C on the keyboard, come down here, and we're going to Control V to get it onto that thumb drive. Now we can go ahead and extract that thumb drive, and we are ready to install this. I just realized part of the screen was cut off, so sorry about that. But we're going to put this right into where it says BIOS flash. Now we don't have to put it into that one, but that's just what I'm gonna do. And now, I'm gonna grab my other mouse. See right down here, now if you come down to M flash, or if you were in advanced options, we come down right here to M flash here also. Right now, all it's doing is it's rebooting into a flash mode state. I don't know why MSI does this. I think there's one other, I think maybe ASRock does it. I don't know, I haven't really done an ASRock BIOS update, but Gigabyte doesn't really do this, and Asus doesn't do this, as far as I know, with all the motherboards. So, we can see the only drive we have in here. The other one had a second drive because I thought I was going to load Windows on it during this video, but I'm not going to. So we can clearly see our only option is that thumb drive that we put in right there. And we can just click on the file. It's going to automatically know that you probably want to update it. So are you sure you want to select this file? Yes, we do. And now, once again, step away. You can even see right on there, it has circles. I can't really show you with the mouse anymore, but you can see right here these two circles with crosses through them. Basically, it's telling you don't cut off the power, don't unplug the power, don't turn it off, and also don't remove the flash drive or thumb drive while this process is updating. So just walk away, go grab a drink. All right, here we go. We are at 100% for shutdown. And we're going to count how many shutdowns this take, because I was counting before. So that's number one. Second shutdown. I'm just going to keep my two fingers in two so I don't forget. All right, so just two shutdowns. Again, we're going to do boxed just for now. It wants something. And now that's pretty much it. The only other thing that I did do before was that was the easy. I came to the settings, and then we did the optimize. So we want to restore defaults, and we'll go yes. So the other thing that this will need once I get Windows installed is the ME or the management engine updated. But right now I'm not going to be installing Windows. We are going to be, next video, we're going to start putting this into a kind of a unique case in my opinion. It'll be fun. And I think that's going to be exciting. So we kind of established that both of these motherboards work perfectly fine and there's nothing wrong with them so far. And I think I got a pretty good deal. I mean, between both of them, let's see, that was $250 and no, this one was $250 and that one was $200. So that's only $450. Both of these together cost less than this one cost, which was $480 brand new. Pretty good deal. So anyway, that's going to kind of do it for me for this video. We kind of established what I wanted to get done, and I hope you learned maybe to update the BIOS, check out those sales that go on or the huge discounts. Just keep an eye out for them. And even that Camel website can offer to notify you when a price drops to a certain price. So anyway, that's going to do it for me. Don't forget to subscribe, hit that like button, and comment down below if you wish. And until next time, take care.